We're talking about technology. Manticore actually launched its winter 2012 release in February. So tell us a little bit about the features and functionality and how it's been received among Manticore customers.
Sure. So your product, as I said, was launched in February, early February. The marketing launch, the production launch happened right at the end of the February. So it is all live now. All of our existing customers and all of our new customers are now completely transitioned over to the new product. It was a pretty seamless transition process for them. Our focus was really around kind of three key things. One was we've gone in and we've completely rejuvenated the overall interface, and we're getting rave reviews for it right now. It's coming back as really, really positive. The product looks great. We invested a lot in the overall graphic design. It works really well. It's very, very intuitive, and so it got a whole new facelift in terms of its overall look and feel. The second thing that we focused on was one of the things that is true about marketing automation. Us or anybody that's out there, is that when we all first got into this market, there weren't a whole lot of best practices. And in fact, marketers did a whole lot of things in many, many different ways, be it the way you integrated with a website, where you wanted to put your landing pages, whether they were hosted by us or hosted on the customer site, how they wanted to track promotion codes, how they wanted to create emails, how they wanted to track emails. I mean, everybody kind of did things in a different way, and so we all created these incredibly flexible platforms that could go do lots of powerful things. Unfortunately, flexibility tends to breed complexity, and now as the market the industry has matured a little bit, we now know enough. We've been at this for almost 8 years. We can go out and we can say, this is how you should do things, and this is how the best marketers in the world are doing things. And so in effect what we did is with some wizards, we put in some really nice guardrails in our product that make it very easy for someone to be successful with it right out of the gate. And I think that's been something that's critically important. I mean, if you look at a lot of the broader studies around marketing automation, you're finding uptake is not nearly what people would like it to be. And you're especially finding that to be true in kind of the small business segment. Larger companies just tend to throw all kinds of resources at the problem and ultimately figure it out. But our objective, our target market is medium businesses, 25 million in revenue up to $150 million in revenue, and so for us, we need to make it so that someone who is committed to using the platform can get up to speed very quickly on it and use it very quickly. So these guardrails we put in place that in a wizard format, and you kind of think of the TurboTax sort of metaphor, where we make it very obvious what has to happen next. What TurboTax did really well was to go and create take something that was a very complex process and make it easy for you to go through that process so that you always know exactly where you are. And that's exactly what we've done with the platform. Then on top of that, we've added, we've redone our email editor. It utilizes a very nice template-based system. It separates the design function from the marketing function because we find that's how the vast majority of our customers work. And what we've gotten back from the feedback on that is that, wow, this is absolutely as good an email editor as I get from the top tier email service providers. And I think marketing automation vendors in general haven't necessarily provided sort of that capability out there nearly as well. So we've taken that into account. And then there's a number of other things that we've added. We added integration right out of the box with Litmus, which lets you check email appearance in about 20 different email readers, including mobile browsers, iPad, etc. And then it also does spam checking against about the top 20 or 25 most prevalent firewall spam protection things. So, you can get a spam score back and some identification about the things you might need to change in your email in order for that to work. And that happens in line in terms of normal email production. It is an add-on feature for us, but once it's in place, the customer is able to, right through the normal production process, say, go test this thing, you get your reports back within minutes, and you can go and respond accordingly. And what we're seeing is that we're seeing customers that are starting to use that are starting to see, their response rates go up because more things are getting through into the inbox, and their bounce rates are dropping, and those are obviously important things to have happen. So all good stuff there. Then we've also done a lot of under-the-covers things in the product that people won't see yet, but that really set us up for some nice success down the road. And then last year, we've essentially tripled our development capacity, and we're now in a very good position to come out with some new features that are going to, really, I think, set us apart over the next, 6 to 12 months.
Sounds great, Jeff. It sounds like you really thought hard about the Manticore user and how to really cater to them. So to that end, I remember that last time you and I spoke about the release, you had mentioned an enhanced interest in the agency sector. So can you kind of speak to that and tell us a little about the unique needs of agencies and kind of how the Manticore platform caters to them?
We're finding that, I guess, a couple of things. Number one, and it's driven a lot by content, by the way, and the need for content, is that we are starting to find more customers who have dipped their toes in the water of marketing automation, realizing that they don't either have the skill set or just the raw resources in order to go ahead and really be successful with a marketing automation platform, are turning to some agencies to help them out. And could be anything from kind of the typical demand generation agency. A lot of those guys were call center based. They were kind of what we used to call smilers and dialers, would be demand generation kind of folks out there who are now adding online demand generation and online customer nurturing and lead nurturing capabilities to their services. We're also seeing a set of what I'd call service bureau customers popping up. Their entire thing is they will come in and they will take over the vast majority of your online lead generation activities. They'll set up ongoing content marketing programs. They'll help you with your content creation, etc. They are really starting to do well for us. And we've got one partner who's essentially tripled their business in the last 12 months. And we've got several others who've seen significant growth as well. We're adding new ones on all the time. I think what makes the platform unique, and we've done a number of things in the platform. Number one, to make it work really well with folks that want to manage multiple sites from within one instance of Manticore. So, our biggest partners is someone called Sales Engine International. One of their representatives or one of their key partners will actually be at the Content2Conversion Conference coming up. What they do is essentially they've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 35, even growing customers right now on top of our platform. And what we've done is we've made it very easy for them to manage those 35 different instantiations from a single user interface. So that's really, I think, some of the key things that we've done there. I think the other things that they like is that as an agency, they're going to get into more detail around more complex programs. They're going to, they have the expertise and the skill to go implement and understand very effectively how to take a lead through a multi-step nurture program so that, by the time that sales is ready to engage, that lead is both fully qualified, but also really well educated so that they can have a very, very productive discussion with the salespeople, and the salespeople can get the maximum amount of effort out of it. And I think that our automation engine, which is our lead nurturing capability, really is still, I think, pretty much best in class. It's been best in class for a long time, and they are able to build, manage, and really operate complex lead nurturing programs using our platform, and that's something we see from these guys that they really, really like.
Excellent. Well, are there any other forthcoming features on the Manticore platform that you'd like to highlight?
Sure. I think I can invite everybody to really stay tuned and over the next 6 to 12 months because our orientation, the market's telling us what to do, and what the market is saying is go optimize this thing around content and content marketing. And so if you think about some of the things that we have talked about without completely giving away all our secrets, we are very clearly thinking about content planning. Right now, we already do really content execution very, very well, and then you've got content measurement or analytics. that kind of come on the back end of that. And so if you kind of think about the things that people do on either end of that, that's where our development orientation is going on right now. We've also, just as we've redone the entire interface, we're redoing our reporting interface here in the next 90 days or so. That's going to look really, really strong, and we're really encouraged about the early response we're getting back on that. That recasting of the reporting interface is really what enables us to go do some interesting things from the content efficacy perspective and to really look at the performance of specific pieces of content. So, that's the path that we're going down without giving away too much information. But we're really excited about it. We think that content itself is without question, the way all B2B marketers are going, at least the smart ones anyway. And we think that, that we're going to be able to build a platform for them that fully optimizes them. I mean, we've seen data that says that 26% of a typical B2B marketer's budget is spent on content marketing and content development. Well, I think with our platform, you'll be able to get the maximum return out of that 26% of your budget that you're spending, and really be able to drive a much higher ROI out of that. And I think that's what everybody's concerned about.
Well, it all sounds really great. We really appreciate you making the time out of your day to join us on Skype. We're going to look forward to seeing you and the Manticore team at the Content2Conversion Conference in New York City. For our viewers, you can visit Content2Conversion.com to learn more. And thanks again for being with us, Jeff.
It's my pleasure, Amanda. Thanks for having me.
See you in New York City. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.